Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Don't Make Me Greg podcast, starring your host, not Greg, special guest, the Crash Test Genius, musical guest, fucking Pink or something.
No, I can't get Pink on here. Don't do that shit. Now I have to try and get Pink on here. Hold on, I want to tweet Pink right now. And
musical guest. What? Oh wait, no. This is one that I can, one of the few things that I can actually throw out that would be regional. Musical guest. The chats.
The chats. Hold on. Are they on Twitter? The chats. I'm gonna tweet them right now. I was gonna try the chats tweeter. The chats.
Australian punk rock group from Sunshine Coast, Queensland.
Do you actually have an example?
I mean, sure. I'll look something up for you. I mean, there were a couple of their music videos that made it to Smoko.
Wait, the chats. That's an Australian band.
That's why I did that.
Oh, all right.
It was either that or AC/DC. I'm at the end of list for mine. A couple of their songs made it to a front page of Reddit like years ago, and so I just remembered it, but. I watched through a couple of other things, and I don't remember dick all about them after that.
We've got some pretty fucking killer bands here and shit. I've never heard of the Chats before, which is funny because I used to live in the Sunshine Coast, so I feel like I should have heard of them before. I want to tweet them and ask them to be musical guests on the podcast, but I don't know what to say.
You'd be like, fuck off, cunt.
They probably would be too. Oh.
And they'd be like, they told me to fuck off. They called me cunt.
I'm in.
My dreams have all come true.
Fuck. So, do you know many like Australian bands and stuff, or is that just a flex that you knew one?
That was just one that I knew off the top of my head. It's like that, AC/DC, and there are probably a bunch of bands that are from Australia that I didn't know. Kind of like how for the longest time, there are a lot of actors that I thought were American, but just always had American accents, like Hugh Jackman. Mm-hmm. First time I saw him, for the longest time, I thought he was an American actor because he had a good American accent. He was Wolverine for several movies, but he's actually Australian.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of...
Russell Crowe, Nicole Kidman, Mel Gibson.
Yeah, there are a lot of
Gibson,
actors.
Technically, like Mel Gibson kind of falls into a very specific group of people that are like not born in Australia but like raised in Australia, so they technically are Australian. That's the same with like AC/DC. They're all from England and Scotland, but they're technically Australian because of their like connection to us here. Same with like Cold Chisel, if you know Cold Chisel.
That's vaguely familiar.
Fucking Jimmy Barnes. They're massive here because, I was going to rattle off some Australian bands, see if you recognize them. You know, AC/DC, In Excess.
Excess? Okay.
Midnight Oil, Crowded House, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
No, but you're giving me a good list. Write this list down and send it to me. I'm always on the lookout for new music, even if it doesn't fit into like my like normal genres that I listen to. I'm always food and music. Both, or I will try anything once. I will taste anything once. I will listen to anything once, just to see if I like it. And sometimes I'll be pleasantly surprised.
I'm exactly the same with that. I'll try like almost anything. Like I get kind of like deeply frustrated when people are like, "Oh no, I won't try that food because it sounds disgusting." It's like, just try it once. If you don't like it, then
the worst thing that can happen, cool. I guess the worst thing that can happen is you die, but that's like extreme.
But no one's gonna die from a porcini mushroom.
Let's step up from there. Stepping up from there is vomiting, and maybe like shitting yourself for a couple of days. And stepping up from that is, that was a little gross. Let me rinse my mouth out and then eat something that I like. And those are like the 3 levels of not liking a food that you tried: is death, vomiting, and shitting. That was kind of gross.
What's I think there's like a food that's very close to tofu. Fuck, what's it called?
It's anything you put with tofu is close to tofu. Or no, that's the opposite. Tofu is anything like other foods. Yeah. Because it's just a sponge. It absorbs flavors.
Exactly. And I don't mind tofu, but there's a food that's very similar to it that I can't fucking remember the name of before, but that's one of those foods that I'm just like, this is disgusting. But I tried it.
Is it a texture thing?
It's the flavor of it. I didn't like the flavor of it at all, and I can't remember what it was now. But
yeah, I'm very much a texture person where there's certain things where it's like, I like this when it's prepared this way, but when it's prepared this other way, it's just not, and it's a no-go.
I get that with...
Like shrimp is like that. I like fried shrimp, I like grilled shrimp, but like broiled shrimp with like cocktail sauce, it's something, it's all about the musculature of it is weird. Like once that kind of breaks down with heat, either with grilling or frying, I like it more, but like just having it cold and broiled or whatever it is like that, it's not my thing.
Oh, true.
And I don't have any other like legitimate, like, even though I like it, the food, I like shrimp and I like it these particular ways, it's just like this one particular preparation, I can't, nope, not my thing.
That's kind of funny because like I think I'm kind of the opposite, because like a big part of like Christmas dinner to us or Christmas lunch is like seafood, and prawns, which are like our equivalent of shrimp. We have a lot of those for like Christmas. It's a big summer thing for us here is to have prawns, and we generally have them cold. We don't have them hot, because like in summer and stuff, it's just a nice kind of cold seafoody dish to have. So it's quite a common thing. But like cooked prawns are not as common. You generally find them in like pastas or something, or pizzas, but not like, we don't really do barbecue like that. That always like pissed me off about that, like throw shrimp on the barbie fucking Australian commercial thing. That's
no,
not
you'll ruin it.
Not
that's
a
not
thing
how we
do.
eat it.
Well, for starters, we don't have shrimp in Australia. Like that's not a thing.
We throw a prawn on the barbie at least.
And people don't really grill prawns on the barbie either. We generally have them cold. It's like sausages and burgers and steaks and stuff we'll put on the barbecue, but not prawns. It's a bit odd. I don't know. But speaking of like the texture thing, man, I get that quite a lot with fruit in particular. Like I really like fruit. I'm not a huge fan of cooked fruit. The texture of it gets really weird. You know?
Interesting. I'm trying to think of fruits that really get cooked, like a grilled pineapple.
Apples,
obviously, that's a
bananas.
Oh, so you mean like when you have a stewed or broiled,
like apple pie?
I'm not apple pie.
Yeah, I'm not.
We
a
have
fan
like
of
big
apple pie.
chunks of apple in the pie.
Yeah,
cobbler,
even,
things like peach cobbler.
Yeah, not a fan of those type of things. Like I could do stuff like banana bread or like banana cake. But that's generally like mixed in well. You don't really have like chunks of banana in it.
It's so blended in that it's really just part of the overall mix throughout the entire thing. They're not chunks of it.
But like cooked like apple, cooked like stuff like that, that's still got that kind of hole to it, but it like changes the texture because it's been like baked or what have you. Just doesn't sit right with me, man.
Is it like your
texture?
It should be. Is it like it should be crunchy and it's not, or like you just don't like mushy foods?
I don't particularly like mushy foods, but like exception. Like I love mashed potato. Does that count as mushy food?
Well, that's intended to be mushy.
Yeah, and I don't
eat
potatoes.
Mushed potatoes.
I don't eat potatoes when they're not soft, so I guess it's kind of the trade-off. But like you said, with apples, I'm so used to eating like apples and getting that like that tactile crunch to apples. I love that sensation. And then to take that and turn it into something that's essentially like a mush. Oh, it gives me chills, dude. It literally makes me a little bit squeamish to be like, ugh.
How do you feel about applesauce?
I don't, it's not really a thing here, so I don't know if I've actually tried applesauce. What do you put applesauce on?
Well, I mean, it's really, a lot of people look at it as food for the extremes of ages, either babies or old people. But really it's just like blended and sweetened apple puree is basically what it is. It's like you would have cranberry sauce, not like the cranberry sauce that comes in a can that's like a gelatin, but like actual cranberry sauce that is like stewed down and is kind of like more of a puree. It's like that, but with apples, and it's sweetened, and it's just, that's it.
Yep, no, that's not really a thing. I'm pretty sure like we do sell it, but
usually people look at it as like this is a food for babies or people
easily
or
digestible,
older people. Easily, and you don't have to chew it stuff like that.
Maybe I'm just out of the loop because it's just never been something like that I've experienced in life. Like even like, because I mean you'd put it on like roasts and stuff too, wouldn't you? Wouldn't it be like a nice kind of accompaniment to that sort of thing? Get those kind of fruity sauces. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever had like rhubarb sauce on like roast meats before?
I don't know about rhubarb sauce. I've had rhubarb pie before, and there's a brand here in the States that makes adult root beer, and it's called Not Your Father's, and they make alcoholic root beer, cream soda, orange soda, but then they have another brand that's Not Your Mother's, and it's like alcoholic sweet tea, and it's not strong. They're like 6%, but it's sweet tea, and then there's one that is a strawberry rhubarb pie flavored, like seltzer alcoholic. Oh, it's so good. A lot of people can't stand it because of the. Oh, it's so good. It's so refreshing, and it's not like overly sweet. There's some of them that get like a little too syrupy sweet. They're kind of like, I've had one and it feels like a dessert. But that one I could pound back like 3 or 4 of them and be like, yeah.
I love that about like American culture. You guys are so massive on like experimenting with things, like because you'll come out with stuff like a rhubarb soda. And you guys are so massive and like experiment with those things. You think of like massive companies like Coke, for example. They're constantly experimenting with different flavors and such. That's not really a thing with us here. We don't really have companies that do that sort of thing. We kind of just adapt what Americans do, and to an extent like England, and kind of adapt those things. You guys will bring over like, for example, they had mango Pepsi recently, which I'm sure existed there.
But no, that's the weird thing, is we probably didn't get that. Like you've probably seen all these like weird flavored, they're like normal candies that you would see like Kit Kat or Snickers or Twix, that Japan has all of these weird
Japan's
flavors
great for it as well, yeah.
That's so hard. Well, and some of those, you can only find them here in the States, either like if you go to a like an Asian store that is also a market or something like that. We have a couple of those here in town where it's just kind of like a fusion Asian restaurant, but attached to it is an Asian market with a bunch of different different types of vegetables, and they have like a seafood market and everything like that. But there's a couple of aisles of weird snacks and candies and stuff like that, and some of them are simply just like, here's a Kit Kat, but it's green tea flavored. It's like,
he's a wasabi Kit Kat.
Yeah, why can't we have that in our gas stations? Why can't I go to a Shell on a road trip and get a fucking green tea Kit Kat? That sounds awesome. Well, but you have to.
It's not popular by massive standards. There's like a handful of people that try that. And I think that's why they have you have like specialty shops where you can buy that sort of stuff.
Oh man, now you're making me miss. There was a place in town called there's this kind of area in Jackson called Fondren, which is kind of the artsy fartsy section. They have a lot of really good restaurants. That's where it's kind of this midway point between a couple of colleges, and so there's like a lot of there coffee shops and venues to play, like small venues to play like music, where you could probably get a crowd of like 50 or 100 people. But there's also a bunch of like artists and things like that. There's a small local guitar shop. Like it's this cool little like microcosm of like interesting local restaurants and things like that.
I love that.
But there used to be this place called Fondren Beverage Emporium back when I was in high school. It didn't last long. It only lasted a few years, but it was a bunch of weird imported candies from all over like the world and stuff like that you don't, or old candies that like maybe you can't, that used to be popular back in like the 20s or 30s, and you can't really find them now. And then a bunch of weird sodas, some of which were like, it's just like a cherry soda, but it's made by a different company. It has a different name. Like there was a cherry lemonade called a Leninade, and it was like, it had this like I think the slogan was get hammered and sickled.
Lenin, Lenin, like the Soviet Lenin.
Yeah, it was like the soda you'll stand in line for, like that kind of stuff. But it was just like a cherry lemonade, but the branding of it was really great. They had all these different weird flavored sodas and throwback sodas and stuff like that. It was so great, and it was only around for a few years, but like, man, it was weird that like, I think here we are like 15 years removed from when it existed. I think it would really thrive right now, because back 15 years ago, that section of town was kind of starting to build up, and I think now that it's a much more prevalent like social center of sorts, I think that it would have lasted a lot longer.
Yeah, they're like so ahead of their times. Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
We have like, it's funny because like we have similar sort of things like candy shops and such that are very specialized towards like American things. Like there's certain products and stuff you just can't buy here unless it's through those kind of like American imports. So like we don't have like Count Chocula, we don't have a lot of the cereals and stuff that you guys have, like Captain Crunch, Lucky Charms, Trix, all those kind of things that I know from watching TV and stuff. Even down to like
the American
root beers.
brand. do y'all have like Australian versions of those where it's like it's not Count Chocula, but it's like Cunt Chocula or whatever?
No. Dude, that would be so good as an Australian cereal. Cunt Chocula. Dude, writing that down. I'm going to start my own business after this. Well, no, because like Count Chocula and stuff, that's Kellogg's, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm saying that y'all don't have like y'all's version of it, because there are like the off-brand versions. There's a store brand that has like, instead of like Cocoa Krispies, it's like Choco Pebbles or whatever. Like they have a different name to them that are slightly off-brand. I didn't know if maybe like Australia has stuff that like this isn't Captain Crunch, because it's not the Kellogg's or whatever Post name brand version that they have in the States, but this is our version of it and it's called blank.
No, well, that's the thing. The biggest cereal company for us as well is Kellogg's. So they have the opportunity to bring those things over, but they just don't. And we've only just started getting Apple Jacks. That's just been introduced in Australia recently.
Those are good.
Aside from that, we got like Apple Jacks, Fruit Loops. We have what's Cocoa Pops, which is Cocoa Krispies. They're called Cocoa Pops here. Rice Bubbles, and that's like pretty much it. And then we got a few like Australian things like Nutri-Grain and Wheat Bix and such. But aside from that, our cereal game is weak. It always has been. It's pretty much like Cocoa Pops, Rice Bubbles, or Fruit Loops. Like that's your cereals that you get to pick from. And then if you want to try other ones, you got to find those kind of like American import places. Like I've tried Captain Crunch and Lucky Charms from those like American import places, but they're getting like few and far between as well. So like they're selling cereals less because I think less people were buying them. So they're kind of phasing them out more in favor of like candies and stuff. So, which is cool because like I could try things like fucking Big League Chew. Never tried that before.
Oh man, I hadn't thought about Big League Chew in years.
Is that not really?
I played baseball. No. I played baseball at a local like kids kind of baseball league for summers for about, it was like 10 years maybe. And Big League Chew was one of those things that like I only got on the at the concession stand on the baseball field, that like I never, they have them in gas stations and stuff like that, but I never think to get it. It was one of those things that I just remember being like 9, 10, 11 years old in the dugout with a bunch of guys, super fucking hot, 95 degrees, 95% humidity, wearing long pants because we had baseball pants, just drinking Gatorade and chewing Big League Chew in the dugout.
So it's got a nice connection to like baseball for you.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't really.
So I got a question about cereal stuff since you've talked about having a few things.
On me.
Have you've had Reese's Puffs, right? Or know of them?
No, I know of them. I've never had them before. I've wanted to because I think they're, if I'm not mistaken, quite close to a type of cereal we have here. Yeah. But a different flavor because they're just like balls of chocolate cereal, right?
Yeah. So exactly. It's like kind of the flavor. I don't know if y'all have Kix, those kind of puffed rice balls that are flavorless. They're kind of like, this is one of those things that's like, my parents don't really love me or have a personality, so they gave me Kix. But they have different versions. They have like peanut butter Kix, which are kind of like half of what Reese's Puffs are truly trying to be.
Yeah, we have something similar, which is Nesquik Cereal, which is the same. What? Yeah, so it's the same. It looks like. Oh yeah, I was gonna send you a link. It's the same. Looks like the same cereal, just doesn't have that peanut butter flavor to it. It's just chocolate. Do you guys not have Nesquik cereal?
I've never seen it before. I'm looking at it right now. It's imported. Nestle Nesquik cereal delivered to US. No, this is a thing that we do not have.
Oh wow, because Nesquik is an American brand.
I guess. I mean, it's Nestle, so yeah.
That is bizarre, because like Nesquik cereal is actually like I've stayed away from cereal in the past few years because it's so sugary and full of fucking shit. But Nesquik cereal is. You
mean vitamins and minerals to start your day off?
It's not full of those things. That's big cereal lying to you to try and sling more boxes.
I don't care. Cereal has now become a dessert for me. I'll have some like Golden Grams with some like vanilla Greek yogurt, and that's dessert for me now.
Oh, dude, I love cereal. I gotta stop eating it. We got similar.
Did you ever have Oreo-O's?
No, I don't have those. We've got
man.
Milo Cereal, which I'm assuming you guys don't have Milo Cereal.
No, that doesn't sound familiar, but I am looking it up right now.
Because do you know what Milo is?
Nestle Milo. So is it like a chocolate powder kind of mix-in, kind of Ovaltine type thing?
Yeah. So it's very similar to that, but it doesn't quite like, you know how like you have like Nesquik as like chocolate powder milk.
No, we do not have anything in the States that is sponsored by a guy playing cricket on the front. Sorry.
It's well, you know how you have like Nesquik and it's like you stir it in and it makes chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Milo's very similar, but it doesn't actually like dissolve into the milk. So it kind of just like clumps up into this like wet sand, this like wet, crunchy chocolate sand in
How
milk.
depressing that like that is what your product has to do, and it just fucking doesn't. And you're like, put it on the shelves. People will buy it, and sad people will go and buy it.
But it makes the milk chocolatey. That's the thing. But it just doesn't dissolve, so you get this like weird chocolate crunchy sand. It's actually really fucking nice. I fucking love Milo. But yeah, they made a cereal out of it. It's really good, but they're in these weird like C shapes. Are you looking at the Milo cereal?
Well, I just looked at the box. Let me look back at this weird.
On the box, you can see they're like a C shape kind of.
Oh yeah,
weird.
they're like a scoop type thing.
Yeah.
They look like something that would go through your arteries and clog them up. That's what it looks like. It looks like sickle cell.
Yeah.
It looks like you're eating a disease.
They're fucking dangerous. I remember the first time I ever choked on something was on Milo cereal, because the shape is just so weird. It just got lodged in my throat. And I just got so paranoid and shit. I thought I was fucking dying. And my dad just looked at me like I was a fucking idiot because I was choking on Milo cereal. Legit, my dad was like, what the fuck are you doing?
That may be why. It may be because Milo is actually not just chocolate, it's chocolate malt.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm all about it now. I fucking love malt.
But then they also had like a malt version. I don't think they do it anymore, but they had like Milo malt, which was like this weird brown can. It was just like it's kind of like the
just malt?
It was like the dark chocolate variant. But I don't think it stuck around all that much.
You'll also have Cocoa Crunch, which comes in the shape of a koala bear because you just have to stay on brand.
Wait, what?
Cocoa Crunch.
Wait, what?
Spelled with three K's. So be careful with that.
That is so many K's.
It's the inappropriate number of K's. Yeah, I'm looking at this thing right. It's just a picture. Amazon 3-pack of Milo. Oh wait, let me see this.
This is not Australian, man.
Is it not? No, you're right.
Asia,
I don't know what
Middle
language.
East.
I don't know what language that is.
It's Asia, Middle East.
Maybe that's
Latin
actually
America.
like a lion cub on it instead, and not a koala. I just assumed.
I know it's definitely a koala. Man, that's a koala.
Are they jacking your style?
Why they? That's Milo cereal. That just looks like Milo cereal. They've just marketed it differently because it's still Nestle as well.
Yeah,
I think it's.
What is the word I'm looking for? Conspiracy goes deeper. So there's the picture that I saw was two boxes next to each other, and there's Milo cereal, but it was chocolate balls, not the curved cup things that you're talking about. And next to that is Cocoa Crunch in the shape of like koala heads. But then when I go to look at another box of Cocoa Crunch, it's Cocoa Crunch with the koala mascot, but it's the fucking scoop shape of the OG Milo. It's the same cereal, but it's like 3 different ways.
What the
Y'all are getting,
fuck?
What is going on?
Nestle, what are you doing?
So you have Milo as scoops, you have Milo as chocolate balls, and then you have Cocoa Crunch as scoops and Cocoa Crunch as koala heads.
What is happening?
What is going on? Y'all are getting Shanghai. Y'all are getting lied to.
I
look at all these chocolate cereals we have, and it's the same fucking chocolate cereal with the different skin on it, and it's different shapes.
Nestle, what are you doing? It's literally just Milo cereal. They've just fucking rebranded it for a different country, which makes sense because Milo is a very like local Australian thing. So of course they're gonna rebrand the cereal as something else, but it's just like, man, why don't we have Cocoa Crunch? I want to know this koala. I want to know his story. What's his name? Does he have a name?
Oh, here's the Pepsi Mango. I see this link now. I want to check this out.
Pico.
Ooh, that looks so good. I'm more of a Coke person myself
Yeah,
than Pepsi. Coke has a little bit of a bite to it. Pepsi's a little too sweet.
Yeah, I agree. Pepsi's a
but
bit
like I'm not
smoother.
gonna be one of those people that turns it down. But this looks really good. Pepsi Mango looks great.
It's not bad. Like I tried it recently because they like brought it through here, did like a huge ad campaign and stuff. So I was like, oh fuck it, I'll try it.
Oh, I can't fucking find this anywhere. I think it was early last year. We had orange Coke come out, and then afterwards there was orange vanilla Coke.
Ew.
Oh, that was the best.
Really?
It was so good.
I love vanilla Coke, but I don't know,
It was
man.
orange vanilla Coke. It was like drinking. It was like a kind of a mix between like a Coke and a creamsicle. Oh, it's so good.
Creamsicle?
You know what a creamsicle is?
No, I think
It's
that's
just like
oh, I just opened
or
VLC.
dreamsicle. Maybe that's what it's called. Really, is a dreamsicle.
Dreamsicle?
Not a dream.
Dreamsicle? Oh yeah, what flavor is Dreamsicle? Creamsicle started out brand names went flavors in themselves.
No,
with
not
the flavor
dreams.
of,
Google,
orange sherbet.
I've been Googling nothing but food. Don't give me Dream Cycle woman's single speed bike.
I've got
I
him
want
here.
ice cream.
It's like an orange sherbet vanilla ice cream thing.
Yeah.
Dreamsicle. We kind of have a similar thing here. Splits, but it's ice cream. Yeah, Splits ice cream, but it comes in multiple flavors.
Nothing but food podcast now. I'm down for it.
This is not good. This is not good. I don't want to talk about food.
That I think is like the biggest like bridge between cultures. A lot of times is get somebody to sit down and like try some of their food.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Stuff like that. That's a great bridge between cultures, I think.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing about like visiting other countries and such. It's not always about like sightseeing and stuff. I'm interested in like food when I go to visit other countries because I think there's so much within like the culture that you can learn about people from their food. So that's why I love, like I spent a lot of my time in Japan just eating just copious amounts of food because it's just so fascinating to see like the difference between like what we have as like a common everyday food there compared to, here to there. And it tells you so much about their culture and I love it and I miss it.
Yeah.
Australian food sucks, dude. Our country sucks.
So what is, and this is one thing I don't know, what is like a typical, and here's another thing, I guess what I'm about to ask is kind of a two-part question. Do y'all have a typical Australian like dishes, or is it more like different states, different regions kind of have their like here in America we have regional dishes that like in the South you will be able to find like these things, but those dishes you won't be able to find like if you go to New England or if you go to the West Coast.
Like gumbo and stuff down south compared to like chowder in New England, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. What's some Australian stuff like that?
Dude, not really all that much. Like we're so
Come on, man.
No, it's true. We're so multicultural in the like we don't really have Australian dishes. Like, let me pull up like Australian dishes. Chicken parmigiana, like sausages on bread.
So you have Italian food and hot dogs.
Australia's 10 most. Oh, here we go. I Google Australia's 10 most popular traditional foods. Vegemite on toast.
Vegemite. Wait, what was the second? Vegemite what?
Vegemite on toast.
Oh, Vegemite on toast.
Yeah.
So Vegemite. I don't know if I've ever had Vegemite. It's supposed to be spread very thin because it has such a strong like salty flavor.
Yeah. So I like to equate like Vegemite to soy sauce because I see like a lot of people on YouTube and stuff. They're like, I'm gonna eat Vegemite, and they have like a spoonful of Vegemite. It's like that's not how you're supposed to eat it. In the same way that you wouldn't have like
they
a
spread
shot.
it like peanut butter.
No, but they have like just a spoonful of Vegemite, and that's what they try to eat it as. That's like having a shot of soy sauce to taste what like soy sauce tastes like. Like that's not how it's supposed to be eaten. You're supposed to spread it on bread with butter, and the butter cuts back on the salty flavor to it.
It's kind of like the consistency of like peanut butter or Nutella, which I would eat a spoonful of or spread very thickly, very heavily on a sandwich.
The thing is, it's not sweet. It's very salty kind of flavor, so you can't spread it on that thick. You can if you're a Vegemite pro, which I will gladly say I am a Vegemite pro. I have my Vegemite. I can't wait
to aspire to be a Vegemite pro. One day, Mom will be proud.
It is actually a point of contention. I had this discussion recently. Like I was talking to a girl, and my flirtation tactics was like, hey, how do you have your Vegemite in your toast? You know, do you have like a light lather, or you like slather it on? And
this is your A game?
Yeah, and I will say it worked, but at the same time, it started a conversation that kind of like spread with all my friends and such, because I said that I don't put butter on my Vegemite toast, which is how you're supposed to eat it with butter, but I've been eating it since I was a kid, so I actually really like the salty flavor, so I lay it on thick, no butter.
Yeah.
But it became a real contentious thing, because she was like, oh no, you have to have butter, and then I started asking all these friends and did this big like fucking survey circle of people, like how do they eat their Vegemite toast? Is it weird to have butter on it? Is it not weird? But for the non-initiated, you have to have butter on there because it's just so much salt. But
it's like having, coffee without cream or sugar. If you're fine with the bitterness of it, the aftertaste, or if you have like a good brew and you can just drink it black, versus needing to cut it a little bit.
But do you start off by drinking black coffee, or do you start off with cream and then kind of slowly phase out the cream in favor of black coffee?
Well, the first thing I did as a kid was let me try just some coffee, and it was gross. And then I tried it with cream and sugar, and I was, oh, this is better. And as I've gotten older, I still don't drink it black, but I do drink it with a lot less stuff in it. Yeah, and
that's the same.
It's not me. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio creamer to coffee anymore.
Yeah, but I mean that's the same thing with like Vegemite. You don't want to start off with like a full drench of Vegemite and no butter. You want to start off lightly and then kind of like slowly phase out the butter and get more of that Vegemite tang to it. But apparently I'm weird for that. I don't know. I'm gonna try and find some point to send you some Vegemite.
I'm looking up Vegemite versus Marmite. Marmite has saltiness to it, which balances with a slight sweetness and a smooth and silky texture, while Vegemite is salty but also has bitterness. Bitter is if it actually is bitter. I'll try it. Once again, try anything once. Bitter is a flavor profile that I just can't do.
Really?
I can do salty. I can do sour. Like a little. People that love IPAs, they're very hoppy, and a lot of that hoppiness then leads to a slightly bitter aftertaste, or sometimes very bitter aftertaste. And bitter is a flavor profile that I just do not like. When people make like old fashions or mixed drinks that have like bitters in them, not for me. I've tried, and once again, you bring me something new, I'll fucking try it. I'll make a face, and I'll go, not my thing, and then I'll move on to something that I like. But bitter is just a flavor profile that I just don't really care for.
I think a good idea for a video for you would be to like have like a lineup of like Vegemite on toast, working from like a tiny bit of Vegemite all the way up to like full just black toast, and just kind of like slowly work your way up the spectrum from like intro to expert Vegemite consumption.
I mean, sure. How about this? If you send me Vegemite, I don't know how expensive that would be, that shipping cost.
It would be worth it. It would be worth it.
Then I will totally make that video in your honor.
I'm gonna find the biggest tub of Vegemite that I can send.
I get a drum of Vegemite.
950 grams. How much is
55 gallons of Vegemite.
I've got 950 grams. That's 33 ounces of Vegemite.
Yeah.
Do you want that?
Yeah, like I say, if you get it, don't feel like, here's your Christmas gift, loser. That's from Vegemite.
The fucked up thing, I love Vegemite so much. If someone gave me a jar of Vegemite for Christmas, I would actually be so happy. I would actually love it. Like, man. I don't think I could state how much I love Vegemite. I have a Vegemite hat. Like, I went out of my way to buy a hat specifically because it's Vegemite. But, oh, dude, I'll show you this. Oh my God. I'm going to show you this. Look at the product first, then look at the price of it, and then we'll talk about it, because obviously...
Ooh, why buy one when I can buy a case of 12 jars of Vegemite?
I sent you something on Discord. Have a look at this.
No. Oh, what the fuck?
This is a thing, and now look at the price of it.
Well, yeah, it's probably, unopened limited edition. I completely understand.
So,
what we're looking... Do you want to explain it to the people at home?
No, I want to hear your explanation, actually.
Okay. I've been sent a link to the prestigious sales website known as eBay, and this is a limited edition Cadbury Dairy Milk Vegemite package, limited edition, discontinued, unopened for $500 Australian, which is about $27 American. No, let me look that up. 500 AU to USD is
300.
380.
Yeah.
380. Yeah. Still $380, 500 Australian, for an unopened, discontinued, limited edition Cadbury Dairy Milk Vegemite chocolate. But what? Oh wait. But what is it? Is it just cook? Is it just chocolate? Is it like cooking chocolate?
Yeah.
Or is it like it's a chocolate bar. It's a chocolate bar.
Yeah. So that's like our like general chocolate bars, kind of like how I think you'd find like Hershey's and stuff for you guys. We have like
Right, I just didn't know what kind.
Cadbury milk bars, like blocks like that, and then that's kind of like with Vegemite on the inside. I never tried it when it was a thing, but it like came in and it was pretty popular for a few weeks, and apparently it was really good. I just never had the guts to try it because I don't know. I wish I did. I know, because we were talking about like if you have an opportunity to try something, then try something. I couldn't justify myself spending like $5 on a block of chocolate that I wasn't gonna like eat. I didn't want to waste it if I didn't like it. So, but I wish I did, because it's a strange flavor that I can't quite seem to pinpoint, like Vegemite and chocolate. I don't know how that would work. I guess it kind of be like salted chocolate, but not.
Could I? Oh wait, rant time. Crash. I fucking hate desserts with salt on them so
Really?
goddamn much. Get the fuck out of my face. I want a sweet thing. I hate it when there's like thick fucking flaky salt like dandruff on a piece of caramel or chocolate truffle. Get that shit out of my face. I want sweetness.
Dude,
Just give me
salted caramel's nice though.
I cannot stand it. I hate it so much. It's ruins when I go to find like a nice chocolate bar or something. When I'm like, I haven't had any sweets in a while. While I'm shopping at groceries, I'll go to the dessert aisle and find like a nice chocolate bar to buy myself. And like, oh, that looks nice, and it's mint, like 65% dark chocolate and salt. And it's like, why is there salt literally in everything now? I fucking hate it so much.
It's become such a massive thing. It's kind of like avocado. Like a few years ago, avocado was like, oh, it's on this, it might be on a sandwich, it might be on the side of your breakfast, but now like avocado is on fucking everything. And salt has become the same thing with desserts. Salted caramel, like everything has a fucking salted caramel variation now.
No, hate. But I understand that you need salt in it, like the cooking process, because salt, it draws out
it's not a
flavor and stuff like that. I don't want salt like on top. I don't want salt as accoutrement on top of my fucking caramel piece. Don't want that.
I don't know, man.
I know that there's a bunch of people that like that. Maybe I have the palate of a 3-year-old. I don't want salt on my chocolate. I just don't. It's so gross. It's so bad.
I think I'm in agreement. Salted chocolate.
I will take chili powder on like a dark chocolate when it's like sweet and heat. I love hot and sweet together.
No, see, I disagree there, because like chili chocolate, that's a thing as well, but not quite as popular. But I disagree. I've had chili chocolate before, and I'm like, no, these are two flavors.
Shit, Crash.
No, it's not shit. Don't do that. No, Crash. I'm just disagreeing.
You're
with you.
objectively wrong.
No, you're subjectively wrong. It's different. No, I don't know.
Sorry, go ahead.
Because I've had it before, because my mum really likes it. There's like this dark chocolate, like dark chili chocolate, and she likes it, and I tried it. I'm like, nope, these are two flavors I don't want together. I don't want spicy and sweet together. It just don't click with me. No.
Or like a spicy honey glaze on like some wings or something like that.
I'm
That's
okay
not a
with
thing that you dig.
I'm okay with that. That's
it's more
different.
like the chocolate with heat, not necessarily sweet and spicy.
It's the spice and the heat together I don't like. We don't really get like hot wings that are sweet. They're just hot or sweet. You know, like honey soy. I could do sweet and salty in that like honey soy kind of way, but not sweet and spicy. Just
So we got wings this past week, and they had we got some like dry rub, like lemon pepper. Then we also had a wet wet sauce that was Korean barbecue, which had that sweetness, kind of Asian, kind of hoisin, a little bit of that kind of flavor to it, but it had like kind of a red pepper, like nice burn to it. Yeah, that's really good. I love that. Oh well, each their own, whatever.
I so badly want to one day head over to the States and do like a big tour of food and stuff. As I were talking about like
Dude.
experiencing culture and stuff, particularly because you guys are so like regional with a lot of your like dishes and stuff. That's what I really want to do. Like I've never tried what's the word? I was gonna say
Describe it.
I was gonna say Creole, but that's not right, is it? Like Cajun food.
So yeah, Cajun food. So stuff from like Louisiana, kind of like southern. It's kind of this weird kind of mishmash of like kind of southern cooking along with like kind of a French traditional kind of insertion and stuff like that. A lot of the like cuisine and stuff like that. So that would be mainly in the Creole area, or I guess Cajun area, which would be Louisiana. Of course, you get that hugely in New Orleans and stuff like that, where there's a lot of French settlers that stayed there in the mouth of the Mississippi River in Louisiana and stuff like that, in that port town. And there's a lot of that kind of culmination of those two cooking styles together that kind of stayed and evolved and everything like that. But that stuff's fantastic.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
I really want to. That's like one of those like types of cuisine that I've never tried before and never had the opportunity to, because it's not a thing here. Like in Australia, we'll have like Italian restaurants, Indian restaurants, French restaurants, what have you. It's very easy for us to try different things, but like Cajun food is not really a thing. Like we even have like American restaurants here. We serve like traditional American styled foods, but
what is traditional American style food according to Australian restaurateurs?
Pretty much like burgers and like ribs and like barbecue styled things.
Okay.
Like chili cheese fries, such like that, which was actually starting to catch on.
So you're like traditional American food is stuff that you could get at a ballpark.
Yeah, but not for us here, really. Like we're big into like meat pies, like sausage rolls, like kind of more traditional like English foods, which you guys don't get over there. And I remember I spent a month in the States when I was like 18, and after like a few days I got like a mad craving for like a meat pie, which I don't know if you guys like
we got
out there
chicken
listening.
pot pie.
Yeah, but like a meat pie, like we don't do like meat pies as in like a family pie. It's more like a one serve like handheld pie.
Yeah, like an individual, like this is your meal, here it is.
Yeah.
Like a shepherd pie kind of a thing.
But like a little like hand size, like a little mini version just for your hand. And then we have even minier versions called party pies, which are like a mouthful of pie.
Ooh, do I have a link for you if you happen to come to Mississippi? I got to show you this.
I'm gonna do it. I need to do a tour because like have you seen The Burger Show on YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah. I love watching that, in particular like George Motes talking about all the different regional burgers, and I'm like, man, I need to fucking do a burger tour of America, because
dude, I need to do that too.
Burgers.
That was one thing my wife and I honestly thought about doing that for our honeymoon instead of like going somewhere.
Really?
We thought about taking like 2 weeks off and just like hitting food destinations, like literally like plotting a map of like, let's go to this restaurant and then go here, we'll drive for 3 hours, we'll stop here for a snack, we'll drive for 3 hours, stop here for supper, stay in town at a hotel, go to a local show or something like that, get up the next day, drive a couple hours, have breakfast at this location. Like we were going to plan that out, and it just became a hassle, and we were like, let's just like go somewhere.
Dude, that is my dream honeymoon. That would be amazing.
If they don't have any pictures on here, there's a place in town that I was trying to send you to. It's called Tom's Fried Pies, and it seems like it's a little bit more in step of what you are. Maybe if you do like a
Tom's Fried Pies.
Do an image Google search for Tom's Fried Pies, and that'll show you. So these are. It's like, for the people at home, you can Google this. It's basically like if you're like take a hot pocket and step it up like 38 steps. It is fucking delicious. So it's this crispy, crunchy kind of pie.
It's like a croissant
wrap. Yeah, well, but it's more flaky and buttery, like a pie crust. But then it's folded around and crimped, sort of like a calzone.
Yeah.
And it's deep fried, and it's filled with like all. I mean, you can get here. Let me see. You can get stuff with like beef and onions and potatoes. They do have a pizza one which has like pepperonis and cheese and marinara in it. You can get fruit ones that have like, basically it's just like a bunch of almost like eating like a cobbler or a pie with like blueberry or apple inside of it. They make an amazing fried pecan pie. Oh, it's like the best thing in the world. if somehow this has reached some schmuck in central Mississippi and you are listening right now, you need to do yourself a favor and get to fucking Tom's Fried Pies. It is amazing. I showed there's a friend of ours that we had talked about this for years, and it was a couple months ago. I just said, hey, Saturday I'm just gonna go and get some, what do you want? And I came back with him, and it was just like me and him and my wife just like rolling around the table it's the best thing ever. It's so good.
They're very like, they look similar in a way to like what we would term as like meat pies. I sent you a little link.
Let me click this.
We have similar looking things to that.
Oh yeah.
So that's
Dude,
like our meat pies.
So good.
They are so good. But yeah, I was in the States for like a month, and after like a day, I got a really bad craving for like a meat pie.
I was in the States for a month, and after 24 hours, I couldn't fucking stand it.
I couldn't because I so desperately wanted a meat pie, but you guys just didn't sell them. So I just had to like survive off like chili cheese fries. Like, I guess this is okay.
No, just
get like I couldn't enjoy myself.
Else.
I
well,
do.
And one thing that's nice is there's so many, and I guess that y'all do as well, because you were saying that y'all have like Italian restaurants and French restaurants.
Yeah.
I fucking love. We have a couple of Indian restaurants in town that I love. Indian food. Indian food is so good.
It
oh
is
my god, it's so
amazing.
delicious.
It's such a popular thing with us here too. I think it's very like English influence, because I know it's the same over there. They're very big.
Well,
on, like,
they're a little closer to y'all too.
Yeah, and we do have quite large populations of like Indian expats and stuff that come over here. So we do have lots of like Indian restaurants, and it's very popular, and it's just so good, man. I love Indian cuisine so much. Like, it's probably one of my top favorites, next to like, I was gonna say like Orient, like Asian cuisine, but I guess that's a very, very blanket term, because that covers a lot of
but India is like a quote unquote subcontinent of Asia, but a lot of their stuff, a lot of their spices, first of all, both of them are very like rice heavy, as far as like a base for this is what you have to then pile
the
carbs
that go with it. Yeah.
But then a lot of the sauces, a lot of like cumin and allspice and stuff like that gets used in a lot of those cultures. So their cuisines, it's amazing how different their cuisines are using a lot of the same ingredients.
Yeah, and that's a testament to human ingenuity, really. Being able to take things and make very different flavor profiles based off. Oh, man, I'm getting so fucking hungry now.
We need to get off. Look, we can't make this an all food podcast. As much as I would love to, we need to get off to something else.
We've been talking about food for about 40 minutes, too.
Please, something else. Like I could do this forever, but we need to. What do you want to talk about otherwise? How about this? I got a fucking gripe. Can I get on? I'm putting Newegg. Newegg is on blast right now.
Let it lay on us. trying
to order the parts to build a computer for my wife, because she has had just like one of these Surface Pros for a few years, and it's not it's old. It's an older version, and also it's not very powerful. It doesn't have a video card. It's very thin. It's supposed to be portable, and so she can't play a lot of games that we're able to play. Like, she can't even run certain games because it just doesn't have any graphic out. So it's like, let's save up some money. Let's do some research, and we'll build a computer. I built my computer like 7 years ago. I was like, you snap it together, then you wait 2 hours for the operating system to load, and then like you got a new computer. And it's really cool because you can pick all your pieces, and it's usually cheaper, and you get something more stronger, more powerful, more long lasting, everything like that. So we kind of built everything together on PC Part Picker, which is a website you can go to, and you can search for particular parts and make sure they're all compatible and everything like that, and piecemeal your shit together.
Now sponsoring Not Great podcasts.
And then you can buy them all, but they come from different places. So like, some of our stuff came from Amazon, we ordered it came in. Some of the stuff we ordered from Walmart, we ordered it came in. Some stuff, there was one thing from Best Buy, we ordered it came in. There were 4 items that we ordered from Newegg. We ordered them on the 30th. We have not received any of them.
Dude.
And what we did get on the 12th, I got an email saying, hey, we delivered one of the packages that was supposed to be the power supply. And I went outside and it wasn't there. And I went to the mailbox, and there was this tiny little slip of paper that is basically a letter. It says, thank you for your order being placed with us. It has been shipped. You should be receiving the package in the next few days. you have an updated tracking number, sincerely, whatever customer service. And I was like, why didn't you just send me the thing that I ordered instead of giving me this note saying we promise it's on the way? Just give me the fucking thing. So that was last Saturday. So last Saturday, that was 2 weeks after we ordered it. So now here we are a week later. We're a week after I received a note saying we're sending your shit. And that it marked off. That's the other thing, is it marked off on my order on the website, on my profile, that it's delivered. It was not. So 8 days after it lied to us and said it was delivered, still haven't been delivered. The other two things, or no, three other items that are in limbo, that the last thing they said is on December 5th, it was at some shipping place in Georgia, hasn't moved since then. So I have no fucking clue, and it's like the operating system, the power supply, the keyboard, and the RAM. All very important parts to operate a computer. We're missing. We have everything else sitting downstairs. I was gonna put it together like last weekend. I have everything else, and so after this, I was gonna get to him. I wasn't able to get to him today. After this, I'm gonna try and get in contact with them. And what we may have to do is try and get a refund. And if they're not gonna refund it, we're just gonna like back charge it. Just fuck off. We're gonna order it from somewhere else. Like this is insane. And even if with the excuse of like, oh, but holiday shipping times / COVID shipping times slowed down, like everybody else got their shit together, and we don't even have information.
And they sent you a thing saying that it was delivered and everything.
In 3 weeks. Yeah. No, we haven't gotten our parts in 3 weeks, one of which said that it got delivered and we didn't get it. We got a letter saying that your stuff's on the way, but then it marked that it was delivered. And now I can't even contest that saying that it wasn't delivered because it marked it as delivered on the website. So I can't say that package is missing like I can the other three things because it said that it shipped and it fucking didn't. We got a sheet of paper saying it's on its way. I knew it was on its way. I got an email confirmation 20 seconds after I made the order.
Breathe.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
Goose fraba.
No, fuck your goose.
I've had that sort of experience before. Never quite that.
So mad.
Like that egregious, but yeah, I've had the thing like I had to buy. I don't know if I told you, I've got like a huge DVD collection. I'm a big movie fan.
You had been talking about. I remember when we played Gunfire that you had been talking about. You were trying to do like a movie a day or something like that.
Yeah, I've sufficiently failed at that, but there's Australian distribution is like so fucked up when it comes to movies that I have to order a lot online. Like I have to order international movies,
y'all are kind of far away.
Yeah, but that's not what it is. It's fucking
digital as well.
Rupert Murdoch, the dude who owns Fox or whatever it is. He owns a lot of the distribution rights to things in Australia, like Game of Thrones, for example. So Fox owns the distribution rights in Australia, so they put it on their streaming service, which costs like $60 a month compared to Netflix's like $12 a month. So so he like holds all these like massive things hostage, so people pirate a lot of the things. I'm not sure where I was going with this thought, but the distribution's fucked, so I have to buy a lot of like international DVDs and shit, and I've had that happen so many times where they're like, oh, your thing was delivered, and I'm like, no, it fucking wasn't.
Otherwise I would be watching it right now and I would be happy.
And I've had a few places that were like, well, it says it was delivered on our end, the postman said it was delivered, you have it. I'm like, but I don't fucking have it. Like I want my box set of fucking, I think it was Roy Anderson. I can't remember his name. I think it's Roy Anderson. Fucking box set. I want to watch this fucking Swedish film. Give me my Swedish film. No. I don't know, but I hope they deliver to you soon, man. I mean, it was Christmas in 5 days for you, 4 days for me. Hopefully it comes before then. If not, I suppose it probably won't.
Like I said, I'm gonna try and get in a chat with the customer service from Newegg after this is done, and try and figure that out. And if they don't have any further information, then I'm just gonna have to cancel stuff, get stuff refunded. If they're not gonna refund stuff that I have not received yet, / it said I received and I didn't, then I'm just gonna have to call my bank and try and get a back charge on it and get my money back and order it from somewhere else because it's fucking ridiculous.
Damn.
Anyway,
dude, that sucks. Is what's starting her in like channel sort of thing?
No, she just wants to be able to play some games with us. / for her job where she works, she does some video production, as well as some like picture production and manipulation and stuff like that for the website and everything like that. And her computer, so she's been working from home for months now, her computer is not really strong enough to do some of that stuff, and so sometimes she has to get other people to do it. And she doesn't want to go in at all because she just doesn't want to chance it because it's just not her thing.
Yeah.
But I just figured, it would be good for her to have that, not only for gaming, but also for to just also like update, have a new computer, but also something that would have a dedicated graphics card that would be capable and powerful enough to do certain things that she is intending to do. And she also wants to learn more about like video production and visual production and stuff like that, audio production, take some online classes. That's something that really interests her. In order to do that, you have to have a machine that's capable of doing that shit. So it's kind of work related, it's kind of fun related, it's kind of, but also like you just need a new computer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's such an important thing because like having a shitty computer really fucks with a lot of things. Like I have a really shitty computer and it fucks with a lot of things. How many times my recordings have fucking corrupted, and even like the most recent video, the Lisa one.
Lisa, the shit-tastic.
Dude, that game and that's, you can see the graphics of that game. It's not a huge, like, demanding game, but my computer struggles with it, man. And even like Premiere, like exporting things, like you saw in the last Lisa the Joyful one, I had that weird like staticky sound. That's happened on 2 of my videos now, and I have no idea why. With the export going on, it's just a shitty computer. So it's such an important thing to have a good quality computer for video editing. Like I totally get that, man. So I'm hoping she gets it and gets into it because it's fun, but having a shitty computer just.
Yeah, well, it's computers and to another extent, like smartphones are so like necessary in like and needed in today's world because everything is online. The connectivity is all online. All of our entertainment is online.
I mean, that's literally how you and I are talking right now.
A lot of this is how we're doing our stuff, recreational stuff. A lot of work is online. My wife works completely from home, so like she needs a decent internet connection, which luckily we have. But her computer can do web browsing and things like that. But anything beyond that, it's just not powerful enough to render anything like that. And something she needs. So.
It's just getting so far away. Like the computer I've got like 2-3 years ago would have been a fucking powerhouse. But like now it's completely outdated and it struggles to run the most basic fucking programs because technology is just getting so fast. Yeah. Like everything's running away. I'm actually at the point now where I'm becoming the old person and technology's starting to overtake me. And I'm like, how do you do the thing? And they're like, oh, it's really fucking easy. You just do this. I'm like, but I don't understand this. I don't know. That's literally, I'm not even 30 yet and I'm struggling with fucking technology, man. Like, I don't like it. I can't keep up with it.
It's accelerating.
How to like I just got my first smartwatch and I'm still fucking amazed by the technology of a fucking smartwatch. Like, yeah. But it's I noticed that. Is that a thing in the States as much as it is here? Is like smartwatches becoming like the trending thing?
Some people use them. My wife and I, neither of us have one. We have some friends that have them and they love using them. They love the utility and everything like that. I don't know if I know that Apple Watch obviously is a well-known one, but I guess they have smartwatches for non-Apple phones like Android and stuff like that. I have an Android phone. I have a Samsung Galaxy. Yeah, boy. So I guess they make I guess they make watches that would be compatible with that. I mean, it's
the
just
Galaxy
gotta be
Watch.
Like a Bluetooth. Yeah, okay, there you go. But I haven't worn a watch since high school because I couldn't pull up my cell phone to check the time or set a timer or anything like that. Yeah. So I wore a watch all through junior high and high school, and as soon as I got to college, and college professors were just like, whatever, you're on your own. Yeah. Then I'll be like, I don't wear, like, my wife got me a watch for back when we were dating. She got me one, we may have been engaged at this point, but she got me a nice watch. Not super expensive, but maybe like, I don't know, maybe like $100 kind of thing, a nice watch for Christmas. And I wore it like a couple of times. And then I was like, I never wear this. And it kind of sat on a shelf and somebody found it. My younger brother was like, hey, what is this watch? I was like, I never wear that thing if you want to use it. And then she saw him with it on wearing it a couple months later. And I was like, yeah, I never wore that thing. And he was really happy with it. It's like, you can't just re-gift my thing. You gave it to me. I don't see why not. So I don't really wear, I mean, like even my wedding ring, I don't wear my wedding ring anymore, but that's because I lost a lot of weight this year. It slides off my finger immediately. So and I just haven't gotten around to resizing it or buying it. I can't resize it. It's tungsten.
True.
But I mean, it wasn't expensive, but it was like $18 at Walmart. I just don't wear jewelry or anything. I don't wear a watch. I wear a watch in, at this point, like 14 years. I haven't worn my wedding band now in a year. Like, I just don't have stuff clinking and clanking off of me.
I'm exactly the same, man. Like, I really do. I see dudes with like chains or like rings and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And they're like, buy one. And then after like a week, I'm like, this doesn't fucking work for me. And watches the same. I've had a few watches before and I get annoyed with them and then I'll take them off and then I just won't put them back on. But now I've gone out and I've spent like $200 on a fucking smartwatch. So I have to wear it all the time. Otherwise I feel like an idiot who just put $200 on a watch that I'm never going to use. But it's cool because I mean, I get the fucking like steps and the calories and the messages on it. So I guess it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm still getting used to it.
I had a wallet chain in high school, but that was purely for utility. That was purely for utility. I didn't wear it at school. I wore it when I went to shows so that my wallet in the pit didn't go flying off in the middle of nowhere and I'd lose it.
No.
And then I wouldn't wear it other times. I wore it solely at metal shows, local metal shows.
I thought it was like just your general use. You had a chain wallet, and I think no adult should ever have a chain wallet as like
unless you are a conductor
wallet.
On a train.
No, even then, no chain wallet. I think it was Aziz Ansari, the stand-up comedian, said something. You know, if your wallet is causing you so much issues, you have to chain it to your person. like nah. But I mean, I guess it makes sense in like a mosh or something. I've been in moshes before, and it's very easy to lose shit in there. So. I'll let it slide this time, Crash, but you're on thin ice, my friend.
It was pure. I'm on the watch list. It was pure utility. On the shit list of not Greg. I'm never coming back. This is my inaugural and only episode.
No, absolutely not. You are honestly one of my favorite people.
Thank you.
Sincerely, man. You've probably been my biggest supporter throughout my entire journey. From like my first video onwards, you've been with me, like more so than any of my like friends, family, or anything. It's always been you through it, man.
You put out quality shit. You're fun. You're a fun guy.
Well, thanks, man. But I don't think I've ever sincerely told you how much I appreciate that, man. Like I honestly wouldn't be doing this now if it wasn't for you. Like you've been one of the guiding lights to me, man, and I sincerely appreciate it so much. From literally my first video, my first Dark Souls video, I remember you said that you wanted more golf commentary on Dark Souls videos or something.
I think you were at the time in a like you were filming it at night, and there was somebody else in the house. And you were talking very quietly. I think is maybe why I made that joke.
And I was just like, that's when I first started out and stuff with the Dark Souls videos, and I wasn't very confident. So I was kind of like, it was more like a walkthrough than a let's play. But yeah, man, I just want to say, I don't know if I've ever told you how much I appreciate you and your support through this, but I honestly do. I don't want you to ever think you're on my shit list, even if you don't eat Vegemite, even if you don't
never wear a wallet chain.
If you have a wallet chain, you still could never be on my shit list because you've been so impactful this year particularly, which is a fucking shit year, but
hey, well, congrats on breaking that 100 barrier recently. That was dope.
I'm so pissed though, because like these past few weeks have been so fucking busy, you know, working retail through Christmas. I've now missed, I think 3-4 videos, which is the first time in 8 months that I have, because I'm just working so much. But I'm so glad I haven't been losing subscribers and stuff. People seem to be patiently awaiting, which is good. So yeah, past the 100, which is really cool.
It's a busy time of year for everybody.
Dude. Yeah, so I'm trying not to stress myself out about it and kind of just let it be and go through with it. And you're more Twitch now than YouTube.
So I was doing YouTube. Well, my wife and I have been trying to do YouTube stuff kind of on and off for like the last 9 years. It was like 2011 we started doing movie reviews, and we did not many of them. I think over the span of like the end of 2011, beginning of 2012, we maybe put out like 10 or 11 reviews. So we did like one a week, and then we both got different jobs, and so we both got super busy, and we didn't do anything for a couple of years. We came back, started doing movie reviews, started doing Let's Plays. That's when we first kind of like saw the Let's Plays were like a big thing, and we started trying to do that, and we didn't get a whole lot of traction. We tried putting stuff on YouTube, but at that point, YouTube had this weird thing where unless you were like a partner, you couldn't upload any video longer than like 15 minutes.
Oh, really?
And so we were uploading these, we were filming like long episodes and putting them up, and so you know, they would get split down so low, and I wasn't doing a whole lot of, I was doing some editing. I was editing out like weird fluff, or if we died and had to go back, or you know, things like that, but I wasn't editing out a lot. And I mean, I liked our commentary, the two of us kind of like talking through games and everything like that, so a lot of it stayed in just because it was fun, it was entertaining, at least to me. And so we weren't getting any traction, so then we tried posting on Blip, which allowed us to put everything up in full. Then Blip folded. Then we tried to upload stuff on Dailymotion. We got no traction there, but at least we were able to post stuff there. And then we just kind of fell out of it. And then I think it was like RTX of 2017 is when I met Zorn, who he and his crew had done a lot of Let's Plays. So I met that whole, like all those people, there are like 7 or 8 of them. They're all fucking hoot and a half. I love them to death. So I started playing, instead of doing my own channel, I started doing stuff with them. So I play with them, but I would edit videos for them. So I'd edit like, a video a week for the channel. I would like, whatever Let's Play this is, like we just filmed for 2 hours, this will be 3 or 4 videos that I will edit, and it'll come out like Monday. So I'm doing a little bit of editing. I'm keeping that stuff up. I did that for a long time with them, and then kind of got tired and just took a long break. Then I came back and tried to do stuff on my own last year. That fizzled after a couple of months, and then I came back this year. Once the pandemic hit, I started doing stuff again in March, and that's when I found out about like you and a bunch of other people. That's when I went to the Let's Play subreddit, which I haven't been to in a long time, to check in to see
me too, actually.
New people and stuff like that. I've mostly been on the Discord server, but I would go there on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays to see when people were posting other people's stuff or posting their own content, and I would check out people's videos and leave comments and just like check stuff out. And that's how I found out a lot about these like a lot of smaller kind of up and coming YouTubers and stuff like that. And then in September I tried doing a stream and just enjoyed it, and then I just pivoted. I started doing stuff on Twitch instead, and just uploading like VODs, just kind of backlog archive stuff to my YouTube channel. And even though, you know, still not a lot of traction, anything like that, but it's fun. And the difference is, as much as I do love editing, doing all of that editing and seeing like nothing come of it over the span of like 6 months was just like, because I think I got up to like 30 subscribers.
Yeah,
it is. You put it in. I mean, I was putting out 3 or 4 videos a week, and I think I got to the point where I was putting out maybe a video a day or something like that. It may have been like more like 6 videos a week, and it just got like as much fun as I was having, it was just disheartening, and it's all that work. And now with Twitch or if I'd streamed on YouTube, I get the fun of like playing a video game, which is always I'm enjoying doing that. Like that's what we
do it for in the end of the day.
I'm playing some games that I hadn't played before, and so I'm enjoying going through that. And then I don't have as much editing to do. I do a little bit of stuff here and there, but most of it is just gameplay. Yeah. And so it's much less stress, it's much less work and stuff like that. But it's just, and I think it fits a bit more of what I was ultimately looking for, because I fought against the idea of streaming for such a long time. I was one of those fogies that I was like, oh, who would want to sit for like 6 hours, 8 hours and watch somebody play a game? I just want to see the highlights. That's what but it's like, if somebody streams for 8 hours, very rarely does somebody like a fan sit there for all 8 hours. They'll pop in for a little bit.
Yeah. I do that
with them and the friends, and then they'll be there for 30 minutes and then they'll leave. And that's kind of the point of it, is it's almost like a party. It's a big party that goes on for 12 hours, and you come and go as you please.
Yeah,
and once I kind of wrapped my head around once I wrapped my head around that kind of thought about it that way, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of get it. And it was then it started being more enjoyable for me to watch other people, as well as to to do stuff myself on streaming. But for a long time, I was just like, oh my God, who has time to watch somebody do this for 9 hours? And it's like, well, that's not the point. You're not supposed to.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of what you just said is why streaming starting to become a lot more popular in the past few years or so. Because like before that, it was like, you know, Let's Plays and such, like what we're doing. But now streaming's becoming a lot more of a thing, because I think there's a lot less work for the same results in the end. But at the same time, I think it's a bit more personal, particularly like live streaming. You are right there with people, and it reduces a lot of the work, but you're able to build the community a lot better. So I think it's kind of like the better evolutionary point of the Let's Play kind of
There's
genre.
that immediacy of conversation and communication that is really nice as well. That's really cool. Up to a point, there's some people that I tried going to their channel where I was like, oh, I've heard about this person and they're big on Twitch, and I'd go there, there'd be 3,000 people watching them, and the chat would just be going by, and it's like, this is too much. There's a sweet middle ground of Twitch streamer where there's like a few hundred people watching, where there's enough conversation going on that it's fun, and that they're kind of feeding off of that, but there's not so much that they're ignoring it because it's just a mess, and it's just like everybody, it's this weird, like, and I know I could easily go there and watch like a big Twitch streamer that has thousands of people watching them and just not pay attention to chat, but I have ADHD like a motherfucker, and so I just see the stuff moving on the side and all these GIFs and like fucking
that
layers of party parrots and things like that, and I'm like, I can't help but look over to the right.
Yeah, and I see that. I think that's the trade-off when it comes to doing like Let's Plays. That's why I think I prefer that a bit more. I find it a bit easier to engage with people, although I've never done a live stream, so I don't know. It's something I want to do eventually. But yeah, but what's you wanna plug your channels? We're gonna wrap up.
Sure.
So you wanna plug?
I am the CrashTestGenius. I was just now I'm definitive. So if you look for CrashTestGenius on YouTube, you'll find my old YouTube channel. I haven't done anything there in a couple months, but if you want to go there and just like watch the backlog of curated Let's Play type stuff, go for that. But I'm now the CrashTestGenius, and the reason I did that is I was trying to make CrashTestGenius on Twitch. Somebody had taken that, and so I was the CrashTestGenius. So then I thought, well, if I'm streaming now and uploading VODs, I want to keep the name the same and everything like that. So the CrashTestGenius is on Twitch, also on YouTube. YouTube is where I upload just kind of all the archival stuff. So if you go there, I usually splice stuff up into 1 hour segments. So I just feel that like if somebody hands me a 5 hour video, I go, oh, I'm exhausted just thinking about that. But if you hand me 5 1 hour videos, I'll go like, oh, I'll watch 1 or 2 of these now, and then I can save the rest for later, kind of a thing. So that's kind of my mentality of watching other people's channels. So that's kind of what I do on mine as well, that these things are kind of spliced up into 1 hour segments. The multiplayer stuff that I do with my family and stuff like that on Wednesdays, I usually cut that down to like kind of a best bits. Usually a 4 hour video cuts down to about like 20 minutes of like stuff that would be funny even out of context, kind of a thing. And then I'm streaming just like 4 hours a day because I have like a normal like Monday to Friday 9 to 5 job. So this is something to do, but if it winds up getting bigger, I would love to like do it more frequently and everything like that. But what I'm doing now is Sunday afternoons, and then like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights. And then I'm having a lot of fun with it.
I want to correct you on something. I don't want to say not if it gets bigger, when, because dude, you keep going, man. You are the single most persistent YouTuber I've met. Like, just the dude who just works so fucking hard at what you do, man, and what you do is fucking awesome. And I just see you killing yourself out there, man, and I know you're gonna hit traction and find your audience and do really well, man. It's definitely gonna happen for you. Like, you've been such an inspiration to me, working as hard as you do, man. So keep at it, brother.
Well, thanks. Ever since I was very young, I always wanted to be an entertainer of some sort, and then I tried doing theater, and that kind of fizzled out. I tried doing music, but then I was an idiot and picked up drums, and you can't just be a drummer. Like, if you play piano or guitar, then it's like, ooh, look, I can play the melody part. But if you play drums and bass like I do, then you need other people, and other people people suck to rely on a lot of times. And so a lot of those things have fizzled because other people have flaked. And so this is something that I'm able to do as an entertainer, as a sole entertainer, that I'm actually enjoying, that the only person that I can rely on is myself. And I don't want to say that I'm trying to do this all by myself.
No.
But in the fact that I don't have to wait on somebody else in order to create a thing, I can do it. Of course, I've done some co-streams, I've done some co-op stuff, I've done some stuff with Mute, I did some stuff with you back when I was doing Let's Plays and things like that. And so I definitely want to keep doing collaborative and cooperative stuff, but it's one of those things that's nice that I can just sit down and like I have my me time and I can just do that. That's not have to rely on other people.
That's exactly the same sort of reasoning for myself, because I've got like experience in film, and I'd make like films and stuff, and I'd have to organize 10 to 30 people to be here on this day at this time to do exactly these things, and it just got so frustrating having to organize that all the fucking time. Then to go from that to doing Let's Plays, which like you said is just me and just play the videos and do the things, and but at the same time do the collabs and stuff. So yeah, man, I totally understand that. Crash, brother, man, this has been
not
fun,
Greg.
dude. This has been fun.
Steve, whatever your name is, D'Artagnan.
You still don't know my real name, do you? Did I tell you?
I mean, I don't remember. I have a horrible memory. I have doubly so with names. I'm horrible with names. So not Greg actually works out better than you'd expect, because it's so weird that my brain's like, oh yeah, we've got that one over here, special file. This fucking weirdo that called himself not Greg. We remember him.
All right, buddy. Well, it was a pleasure having you on. Don't forget to go check out the CrashTestGenius on Twitch and YouTube. Have a fantastic day, everyone, wherever you are.
Fuck everything.
Fuck everything. Yeah, watch fuck everything.
Watch fuck everything.
All right, bye.
Thank you so much for having me on. Bye, everybody.